I'm gonna repost this in B so more people can read and to elaborate some parts. I don't care what you think. I'm not looking for praise or validation. Pick is related. It's of the scar on my hip I'm gonna reference later in the story. Be me. Early 2000s. I'm 5. Very few memories up until this point. I live in Poland. I am an orphan. Living in an orphanage outside of the cities. Closest notable city is Poznan. Orphanage is corrupt. Usually, orphanages, especially in Poland, are run by Catholics. Not this one, just some money-grubbing evil people. Not sure what bad stuff went on there beyond what I experienced. I still don't care to find out, and never will. I think that children were bought and sold there, which is why I put orphanage in quotations earlier. Not sure if it was a legal place or what the deal was. There are about 6 children, including me. I am the youngest, a boy. There are 2 girls, and the rest are boys that are older. I bet they were still here because they didn't sell, or who knows. One of the girls is around my age, not younger. Other one is older, maybe 8 or 9. Again, for reference, I'm 5 at this time. This girl acts as a mother to both me and the other girl. Her face is always covered in dirt from trying to find us food. A tutor comes in and teaches us a little bit every day, but it's practically useless as it's taught in one big group with everyone. It's mostly Polish, which none of us had a strong grasp on. The girl saw my written name, which the tutor showed us as Adam, but could not read it correctly and instead said Ednak. Ednak is pronounced as Ednak, but for the sake of the green text story, I shall only refer to myself as Anon from here on out. That's how I got my name, at least what I believed my name to be. We aren't fed that often, and if we complain, we get shut up via whatever means necessary. I don't really know the girls' names, but the one that is my age we call Zen, and the older one's name was Karolinka. We sneak out at times to scavenge food and not have to sleep in the rank orphanage. The town is just as shady as the orphanage. Few people. All are dirty. Most people are just traffic, coming to and from jobs. We avoid people. We are scared of them, and as a plus, the tutor teaches us that we should never interact with anyone. There's an alley close outside of the orphanage building, and one of those air conditioner things that spurts out hot air. It's warmer to sleep by it in a big huddle. We wake up early in the morning and head back to the orphanage unnoticed. This was my early life living conditions of 5 years old. This was normal things to me, it seemed. Months passed. A year, maybe. I'll highlight some of the parts that are noteworthy. Me and the girls, our group, was totally inseparable. It was a mutual safeness, and I especially cannot go a day without being with the younger girl, Zen. At night, we see neon lights on a shop down the street. We would guess how they worked. Real shit, I thought they were part of the sun, from what our tutor taught us as where all light comes from. I wanted to be the person one day who went and got the light from the sun, because it was so beautiful. Of course, when we talked about this, it was in incredibly broken Polish, so imagine that, but in broken English of a little kid. The older girl, she is a kind and loving girl, a lot of heart, blonde hair, auburn eyes, and a fair-looking face. She is small, but taller than us, my only real parent figure. She gave me my name. She saved me from even worse suffering in that orphanage. She will do anything to protect me and Zen. Once, she even took a beating from the other boys for us. She got very sick and was really pale for 2 weeks. She stopped eating regularly and didn't drink much either. Complained she couldn't drink because it hurt when she did. Got beat up for it, and then stopped eating completely. She lasted a long time. Too fucking long. She was a child and suffered for every day before she died. And one day, she did. And she was gone, just like that. I never saw her again, and I won't ever. But back then, it wasn't like that. I was sad, yes. So was Zen. She asked, "Anon, where did she go?" I think the tutor said something about going to the sun, where you can't see people anymore, and made her own son. She'll be back soon, I always thought, but what my head was filled with at age 6 to 7, I don't know, everything is a blur. I had to protect Zen. We continued our regular schedule, sneaking to the air conditioners and looking for food, sleeping there and sneaking back in. Zen and I sleep face to face as close as you can possibly get. Her face and I are both so dirty. Zen was so beautiful. Not like a plastic doll beautiful, but as natural as it gets. Long, slightly curly, brown, blonde hair, auburn eyes, cute little nose. I loved her, and we were inseparable. I was young, but some primal instinct had kicked in for me. No one could get near this girl. No one but me. I would overcome anything. I didn't care what. If I got shot in the head, I would stand right back up. I had so much willpower. She was my only motivation. All I needed to achieve such a great level of just strength for a 6 to 7-year-old. So much time has passed and nothing changes in our schedule. The more and more life goes on, the more flaws we find in the tutor's teachings. Things just don't add up. Start questioning whether maybe we could try asking other people for food, but too afraid that it might get us beat up. One day, we go to sleep very hungry, getting no food from the orphanage. I tried to find food, but I should have fucking tried harder. I should have done something better. I'm sick. I couldn't get food. I tell Zen I'll give her mine tomorrow. She says she doesn't want that for me, and I fall asleep. In the middle of the night, I wake up. Zen isn't there. Scared out of my fucking mind. I scream for her and run out of the alley, looking for her. Down the street, a small body lies. I sprinted, probably at the speed of an F-18 fighter jet to get to it. A bloody mess, maybe the nastiest thing you can imagine times 10. It's the body of Zen. A rock lies close, covered in blood and brains. I can't. Her face is not... Her nose is in line with her eyes. One is closed and the other is just not even there. Her forehead is dented in, bloody and brains sprawling out in ungodly ways. It's so unnatural. The way that face looked was nothing that should have ever been allowed to exist. And it's all my fucking fault. I didn't protect her. The one thing I was made to do. I never got to bring her to the sun. And I never will. I sat there screaming for what I guess to have been hours. It might be 6 a.m. Sun is just starting to rise. A tractor rolls up. An older man, a farmer traveling to the fields, finds me still screaming. It's all ablaze from here. At first, I think they thought I killed her. Then they really couldn't identify me. Told them of house with other children and begged them not to beat me. Found house with the operation inside. They only found one boy and the men that were running the place. I have no idea what the deal was with them, and I never will. I was put in an institute in Poznan. It's a real orphanage. Really nice, and I go get specialized teachings every day for the next few years. I'm adopted and continued specialized teachings. My new parents come from America. My mother is bitter and mean, but caring. My father is a mechanical engineer, and very nice. Not a Catholic family. I can't sleep at night until I spend at least one night with no sleep. Then I can fall asleep out of exhaustion. See a therapist and don't tell him shit, even though he asks about my time. They know what I'm from. Get some hardcore sleep meds. Move to America, Virginia temporarily, then down south. Not saying where. I know English okay from teaching and parents. I integrate into schools. What the fuck? How am I even doing this? I'm treated as if I should be normal. But every night I cry about Zen. I won't be able to see her grave again either. Pick up video games. In those, I can always protect just like I should. I get pretty good at them. Beat everyone in Halo and CS. Mass Effect Trilogy puts me in a super low spot of my life. Super depressed.exe. I get over it with more video games. Girls at the school like me. I have an accent and I am a 7 out of 10 in middle school. I can't deal with girls because they are not Zen. I've taken a lot of interest in music. I've become a god-tier guitar player and get a hang for other instruments as well. Start composing my own music and stuff. This is just a side note. Fast forward to high school. I am a 9 out of 10 now. I go in and out of pure depression and always stay up at night thinking about things. Girls now find me very attractive. Freshman year, weird goth-like girl stalks me around and harasses me until I tell her off. She later turned lesbian. Sophomore year spent mostly getting close to a girl who I could never date because of my situation. Junior year, finally go on a date with a small girl. She's shy, cute. She reminds me of Zen. I tell her my story and tears.exe. I vow to protect her. She's an 8 out of 10, knows my sleeping problem, and sleeps with me just like Zen would. Leaves me for a very ugly ginger. I mean like a 3 out of 10, and she's super mean about it. Literally can't use my room now because I can't sleep. It's like half reliving Zen's death. Get new bed and new room. This girl process repeats several times into senior year. I take a gap year trip to meet a friend I met playing a video called SAMP, San Andreas Multiplayer. His name is Hugo. He lives in Estonia. Spend a while with him. Train to Poland, visit Warsaw and Poznan, visit Zen's grave. Now a man. Cry a gallon over the grave. Leave half the bouquet of flowers on the grave. Plant some more with the seeds I brought. Give an old lady the other half of the bouquet because she watched me cry there for half an hour. After exchanging pleasantries, the lady says, "Anon, if you can fight through that, you can fight through anything. You should use it for good." Know of the war in Ukraine. Lady's words get to me. Decide it better if I fight for what's right than for some child. Train to Ukraine and join partisan force. Run supplies to Donetsk for volunteer force. Work with a buddy, driving a truck through towns to supply soldiers and citizens. We get shot at a few times. Have to take cover from artillery mostly. I was in one firefight really. Never actually saw anyone myself. Mostly just directional shooting. I know we did kill some in that firefight. Always wonder if maybe I killed one. Honestly, that idea of killing someone doesn't feel so different from a video game. Being in the fight totally does feel different. Shit is scary and scarring, but you just kinda shake it off. It really is hard to even realize that you're shooting at another human. It doesn't feel like it at all. I shot maybe 60-ish rounds. Later in that week, our truck had to stop and cover from artillery. We get shot at the edge of town. A barrage of bullet ricochets, and one hits me. It digs into my hip, but not very far. It's a really small entry, and I just struggle to walk and sit. We drive back to supply base. I get taken to the hospital. I get stitched up. Go back to America. Currently studying astrophysics and music at college. In college, I still search for a lot of things. My motivation still hasn't dried up. Yeah, I'm pretty much a normie in a lot of people's eyes, I guess. But it's not like everyone here is not a normie. We all have non-normie thoughts every once in a while. College is rough as fuck. Now that my classes relate to my life, I'll just cry in class as we learn. Full-on sob. Not really making noise, just tears flowing. One day we start to learn about life cycle of a star, and types and all this nonsense. Literally streaming tears from my eyes like a faucet. Eyes are bloodshot by the end of class. Some people took notice. Couple of girls now interested in me, but I just can't fucking like them after all this shit. I told one about all this shit. Told her I can't love again. Tries telling me some stupid reassuring shit, but it doesn't really change my mind. I pretty much need a perfect match. Just because you have a natural Chad advantage and shit doesn't make it easy, especially not your life or the amount of work you have to put in. As I sit there, the question always graces my mind. What if I died? Would she be there? Should I kill myself? I can't because what if she's out there somewhere, at her own sun? What if she is someone else now and needs my protection? I bought a really nice telescope, and I look in a different part of the sky each night. Each time I find something beautiful, I check to see if it's already been named. I cry still. I will find this beauty once more, and then everyone will be able to see it like I do. Currently studying astrophysics and music at college. I'm going to make it to the fucking sun. and every other main sequence star until I find which one hosts a planetary system beautiful enough to name after Zen. Hey guys, it's Dovahbruh. About Blind Mute Lolly, part 2 is going to be coming out on Wednesday. Unfortunately, I just worked another 40-hour work week, and I know it sounds kind of stupid when I say, oh, I just worked 3 40-hour work weeks in a row, but you have to understand that my job is supposed to be part-time, so when I'm working 40-hour work weeks and trying to edit videos as long as the Blind Mute Lolly story, it just doesn't work. Like, there's just no way I can get those out, like, in that time span, so unfortunately, today, Saturday, had to be this video. I couldn't do anything else. I didn't have time to do anything else, so I'm sorry if it's disappointing. I'm sorry if it's a letdown. I understand if this video bombs, and I understand if you guys are upset or whatever, but just to let you know, Blind Mute Lolly part 2 will be coming out on Wednesday. So again, sorry for the inconvenience, guys, and I hope you guys do look forward to Blind Mute Lolly. Of course, you could go read it for yourself if you don't feel like waiting. I totally understand, but those of you who want to listen to it read by me, it will be coming out on Wednesday, because that's just how the time scale was set up. So yeah, anyways guys, thanks for being so supportive, thanks for watching, and again, I hope you're excited for Blind Mute Lolly part 2 on Wednesday. This has been Dovahbruh, and overall I really liked this story. It was kind of short, and but I really liked the broken English of it. It kind of added a lot to the story. It had a little bit of characterization, and it was a really nice concept outside of typical Feel stories. It didn't have the whole like cliche kind of formula, and yeah, the ending of, you know, like I want to find something beautiful enough to name after Zen was really pretty. I think this story was just overall really beautiful. Thanks for watching, guys. Dovahbruh.